All right. Good morning. Today is September 26th of 2024, and we're just going to go over yesterday's price action as well as the outlook for today. Okay. All right. I had to think about that for a second. So yesterday, um, geez, I'm in a brain fart. Okay, so yesterday I was expecting price to draw higher. Obviously, it didn't. Um, and Not that I was wrong with my bias, but it was a bit. It was the same mistake I did the previous day, where I had expected price to draw higher, but obviously it drew lower first and then drew higher. Now, why did this fail? The reason it failed was because, as you can see, yesterday we took out sell side. In this up move, we did not take sell side. On NQ though, we did. Previous day we took out sell side, drew higher, held above 50% of the range. We did not hold above 50% of the range. I had expected price to hold here going into the macros. Obviously, during 10 o'clock, it did not hold. It was actually up here. And what I wanted to see is a draw lower going into the 11 o'clock macro and then a draw higher. And So it actually happened at around 10:30, and by this time I had already cut the live stream. But I was still interested in taking along because I had suspected. Actually, it was 11 o'clock macro. I had suspected the price would draw higher, and it did temporarily. I actually got long right here in this area, and actually didn't cover because I had expected price to revisit these highs. Um, but obviously it did not, and I actually ended up covering a few points above my entry. Um, right, so a few points above my entry, and that kind of after this trade failed, I still wanted to see maybe some sort of reversal going into the 12 or 1300 macro, but obviously that didn't. When I came back for the 1300 macro, I noticed that price was already below 50% of the range. The reason why I went long here is because we took out 50-minute buy side, we took out 50-minute sell side, right? And once you get that, you do have a retracement back into 50% of the range. And in hindsight, I could have covered at 5 points profit. I was holding, I think it was 3 contracts, but obviously that didn't happen. And again, like I said, once I saw that price was lingering. It wasn't necessarily drawing higher. It wasn't displacing like these legs here. As you can see here, all you see is a balanced price range with no gaps in between. And when price does that, it tends to draw lower, or it tends to fail. That reversal tends to fail. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. As you can see here, we do have a reversal pattern. Price did close above this inverse here. I mean, not this inverse, this market structure shift here. And again, I jumped in one here, actually two here, and I jumped in the third one right here. And we do have a reversal pattern, but obviously, like I said, price failed to, it did reach 50% between this high and this low here, and then it failed to displace lower. So again, once price failed to do that, I cut my well, I didn't cut my losses. Like I said, I think I covered right up here somewhere for a couple tiny profit. Uh, and so again, I did not trade during the 12 o'clock macro because during the 12 o'clock macro, we were actually trading down here. And if price was to reverse, I wanted to see a swift reversal, sort of like this one here. And obviously, these two little candles didn't tell me anything. It did, right? It did kind of give me some sort of little tiny displacement, but it was nothing compared to this, right? If I was going to get a reversal, it should be something bigger than this. Like I said, something like this, a big leg up, and it didn't. So I come back into the 1300 macro, and by this time I had already noticed that price had closed below consequent encroachment on, I mean, not consequent encroachment, below 50% of that range, which technically is consequent encroachment. It had closed here. As you can see here, it closed below. Next one closed below. On the hourly, closed above here. But again, for the 1300 macro, uh, I had expected price to uh, reverse here since we had a big candle. But once I zoomed into the 1 minute, I noticed something right here. So let's get rid of these. I had noticed something on the 1 minute during the 12 o'clock macro, or 11 to 12 o'clock macro. I noticed that price set up a sell model. Took out sell side, took out buy side, displaced lower, and each time price tried to close above this low here, failed, failed, failed. And once price got below 50% of this range, actually this range, once price failed to get above that, I began looking for an entry, and I began looking for a retrace back into 50% of the range right here. Obviously, as you can see, this pullback did not happen, but on NQ, it did. Why am I using this one and not this high here? Well, this one had the sweeps as well. This one did not have it in this area, but it did have up here. With the same low though, this low. This one retraced back in 50%. I went with this one because this one failed to get above here. And when one of them, whichever pair fails to get back into 50% is the one I usually take. I actually ended up getting short right around here, I believe. Actually, let's take a look at I'll show it later. Um, and I had to go through a little bit of pain. But I ended up covering my only contract here. It was a mini, so 10 points more than enough. And why did I take this one? Because I noticed that this was the second stage of distribution. First stage, second stage. Actually, first stage, second stage, and second stage is always the stage where price is most aggressive, uh, most in a hurry to get to the objective. Once price failed this low, that's when I knew we would reverse. That's when I knew that sell side was taken on the higher time frame, 1 hour after buy side was taken. And so this back and forth, I was looking for an entry, never got it. I did find a small little one here. Um, Actually, not even this one either. We did close above. Where is it? So this was the only win, 10 points. And again, I did see a play here, a possible play, because here on the 5 minute, price closed above. Here, created a change in the state of delivery. Same thing here, change in the state of delivery. I did note this gap here as well as this gap here. What I wanted to see is I wanted to see buy side get taken, and it got taken right here with this high. And then I wanted to see this low get taken on the 1 minute. But obviously, as you can see, these lows relatively equal. So I was expecting price to take this low out going into the 1600 macro, and it didn't. And that's why I didn't end up taking this trade. It was a beautiful setup. Let's go back to the 1 minute right here. Right here. As you can see here, price took out buy side here. So then I wanted to see price take out sell side. Almost did. My buy orders were right here. Obviously, I did not get triggered in. My first target was this high here. Eventually, targeting this high here, which is 50% of this range, and then maybe holding a swing trade into this area. So I did not get that play. I did not get that entry, but I was happy with this trade here. Um, Again, ES 10 points. Yeah, ES 10 points got a pretty good win. Here, like I said, I covered. All right, what just happened? Okay, so both ES and NQ took out buy side, then sell side, and now it's trading higher. Buy side here, 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 took out sell side here, took out sell side here. So today I am looking for price to maybe take out sell side and then draw higher because I believe buy side has already been taken. Buy side has already been taken on this one. So again, I do want to see sell side get swept. I think today we'll have a draw where price just continues drawing higher, and the only way I look to get along is if or when we take out sell side on the 15-minute. Um, I think at most we'll see a 15-minute sell side get taken, maybe a 5-minute, but other than that, I don't think we'll see anything on the 1 hour. I think we do have a trending market today, meaning that if I do get an entry, it'll be in the lower time frames as long as the 15-minute is supporting price. Um, Both ES and NQ drew order blocks yesterday on the daily. Actually, no, just ES. Order block here. This is a propulsion block now because as you can see, it drew only into, well, above 50% of the range. Um, and that's why I kept this note here to see how price. Like I said, I believe it already drew. It's already drawn up here, which means that later on, maybe later on into next week, this could act as some sort of support to then draw higher. Like I said, now that we're at all-time highs, I will only be looking for the previous day high as the first objective. Um, and then I'll look for the lower time frame objectives towards new highs. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. So let's go ahead and draw into the weekly. So again, ES is already at all-time highs, and Q, so it's already met the weekly objective. And Q, like I said, my weekly objective is this imbalance here. I don't expect this imbalance to act as much of a resistance, but I do expect this price to rebalance this whole gap. So once we get into this gap here, the weekly objective will have been met, and then if it continues to draw higher, that's even better because I do expect this whole imbalance to get rebalanced, and then eventually for this imbalance to turn into an inverse so that we can use as support going into the next few weeks, eventually into the next week, next month or whatever. But let's go ahead and connect the data and see where we're standing now. I did look into the market yesterday, and I did see that price was already up here. But how far higher we went, it does make sense that prices continue to draw higher now because, like I said, we do have a continuation all this week after Tuesday's price action. We do have Jerome Powell speaking in about 4 minutes, so that'll drive price. We did have GDP. Wow, okay, it's higher than I had expected. Okay, we did have GDP numbers, I think. Yep, GDP numbers as well as initial jobless claims. So it does make sense that price is drawing higher. Um, so this whole area is getting imbalanced. I mean, rebalance. Does not say I'm going to be highly surprised, but I mean, we could still even draw up to this area now. This right here is a rejection block. So I will be looking at this to see if maybe we can get a short play later on. But I will be using this now. Is it a previous monthly high? It's a previous week high, but let's check the monthly. Nope, it's just 50% of the range. We still haven't hit 50% of the range. 50% of the range is 725. Let's take a look at the weekly. So consequent encroachment is right around here. I don't expect this area to be much resistance. There's nothing to do on ES. And we do have SMT at the highs, where ES again is at all-time highs, NQ isn't. But again, when you're bullish, you don't look at the SMTs down here. You actually look at them down here. We actually had SMT at the daily lows down here. We're about to rebalance this whole imbalance. Wow, it's amazing. The fact that I was able to, I'm not going to say predict, but see price draw the way it did. It's very telling of my ability to read price action. Just keep staring. I don't need this anymore. Let's take all these out to kind of clear out the chart. I'm gonna leave this here because this is the daily SMT that I had that we had drawn the previous day. First stage SMT, second stage on the hourly. I'm still gonna leave this one here. I don't think price comes back into this area because all of this area here is a balanced price range. As you can see, there are no gaps anywhere here. If price decides to start selling off, start displacing lower, then it has to come back down here at least. Because again, this whole price area is balanced on the daily. Same thing here, no gaps except for this area here. I'm going to take these areas out. But again, I'm going to leave this area. This is the low of this low, so that's why we have SMT here on the daily. Previous monthly high we took. We took previous day high we took. I'll leave these here, but I'll take some off as we zoom in. Okay, is there an imbalance here? No. What I will do is I'll do this though. Because this is the weekly, and this is the gap on the daily. Actually, you know what we'll do is I'll do this because I do want to look for support in one of these fractals. Quadrants. Yeah, in one of the quadrants. I keep on saying fractals. So this is the weekly. This is the daily. We are trading just into 50% of this range. I don't need this anymore, but I'll keep the previous month high here. Let's go into the 40, the 4 hour. We do have a pretty nice structure here. Oh, that's the 60-minute though. There you go. We do have a couple of imbalances here, but nothing as concrete just yet. I don't need this anymore. This I don't need. I'll keep this. Actually, where's the previous day low? Previous day low is down here. I'll leave this. I'll take all these out actually, but I will leave this one on. It's the only imbalance that was created yesterday on the 4 hour, actually among all of them. I can take this out. I can take this out. I'll take this out. We have the daily block here. And what I'll do is this. Previous day high. Propulsion block. Actually, daily propulsion block. Okay. 1 hour order block. Sell side liquidity. As you can see, all of these highs, all of these lows is generated liquidity on the higher time frame. So eventually we will have to come down and sweep that. Now, whether it's today or tomorrow, I'm not so sure. That's why I'm not looking to take a trade just yet, because this could easily be the order block on the 4 hour where price immediately displaces lower, closes below this, and that'll give us a time, framework to work off of next week. But this daily order block here is the only thing that's keeping price. So I will look to see if maybe this acts as support. We do have propulsion block 4 hour here. So it does make sense that price would like to revisit this area here going into the later sessions. This is the area I'm also interested in, previous day high. There's no propulsion block here, even though there is an order block right here. So I'll leave that one there. Again, weekly objective has been met after price took out this previous monthly high, previous day high. The displacement higher started here, where it lays about 50% of the range. Displacement higher here. No, so let's just go with this one too. 4-hour gap here, nothing here, nothing here. Let's use this one. Okay. All right, so we have some sort of areas here that we could take a look at. Why? Because this low is the low of the daily imbalance. Obviously, this is the low of this daily imbalance, but we're going to be using the daily. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Let's see. I can now actually weekly. All right, I can get rid of this one now. New week opening gaps have a lifespan of 5 weeks. Just remember that. That's why I'm taking it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. New week opening gap here. New week opening gap here. Still within its life cycle. Same thing here. New week opening gap here. New week opening gap here. So this should act as a magnet as long as we get some sort of reversal here within the next 2-3 weeks, because this is this week's within the next 5 weeks. There you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I can get rid of this one too. This too is a new day opening gap. New day opening gaps only have lifespan of 5 days, so I can get rid of all of this. Just clear out the chart, make it a lot more attractive. We just got above extreme discount here, extreme premium. So this area is a prime candidate for price to act as support. Oh, what happened here? I still want to leave this because it might act as support later on. Yeah, let's do that. Daily range DDR here. Okay. This weekly order block as well might act as support, so I'm still going to leave that here. But I don't think price comes back into this area. Like I said again, I only want to see this, or I only expect price to come back down here after we see some sort of reversal and displacement on the daily, which I don't think will happen here soon, because again, this area will be hard to get through. Balanced price range all this way, but again, we'll have to see a clear displacement lower. All right, let's go to the 60-minute. So looks like sell side is about to be taken on the hourly, and the objective might have already been met. Was this the open? Let's start 50% of the range here, because yesterday, yeah, we do have SMT at the lows now. I am expecting higher prices today, but how far it retraces is I don't think it retraces back into this area today. So I'll be looking at this area here to see if it holds, just as this area here may hold. This is the hourly. We just took out sell side, took out buy side, we took out sell side. The only way I look to get short for second stage distribution is if price displaces through this area here. If it displaces, meaning kind of like yesterday's price action where it closed below 50% of the range, and then I was able to catch that 10-point move into this sell side here. That's what I'll be looking for. This one, yeah, I'll leave this one here. This is the order block. This low is protected. Again, this low is protected, but only if, like I said, only if price remains bullish. Actually, let's go back to the 4-hour. Okay, so we are about to draw into this right here, this right here. So I do want to see how price reacts once it closes, or once it trades below this area here. What I want to see is, if price remains bullish, I want to see it just a tap, maybe a tap into here, but I do want to see it remain above 25% of the gap. If it reverses there, then that's how I know we're bullish. Nothing here. If it trades into here again, I want to see a light tap. I don't want to see continuation. I don't even want to see it come back into consequent encroachment. But that's just for today. We are still holding above this gap here. This gap here. We do have relative equal lows here. All right, let's go to the 15-minute. We are here. Okay. I do believe these lows get swept, so this is the current draw on liquidity right now for me. So this is sell side. We're about to get that tap in there. We just took out sell side on the ES. We just took out sell side on NQ. Okay. Again, I don't want to see price come down to this area. I want to see it stay up here. Didn't tap it just yet, but I'll add this as well. That kind of gives us SMT between this low here and this low here. But if it takes this low, never mind, it already took it. Okay. We just took out sell side on both. We took out buy side here. Where's all-time highs? Should have just left it alone. Actually, no. This is all-time highs. Previous day high. Okay, never mind. What was I thinking? Yep, right here. I tend to look for yellow, but I forgot that we added this as the area. Alright, so no more SMT here. Okay, so we just tapped into that. Now I want to see a quick reaction. I don't want to see this one. If it does tap into it, that's fine. 936, so well outside of the macro, but we could see a reaction here. Is Powell still speaking? Let's take a look. Crap, Justin's trading online. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see what he's saying. Justin's one of my favorite traders. So we took out sell side on both. Let's take a look at YM. Took out multiple sides of sell stops. So the fact that we took out sell side on both gives me a good framework to work off of today. Again, I'll be trading on the 15-minute. Let's see here. YM is drawing higher. So there is a SMT between YM and ES. Okay, so yeah, this is a bullish sign to me. We only traded, tapped into it. ES did not, NQ did not. We do have a breaker here, but I don't expect this breaker to act as much resistance. Maybe during the first, yeah, maybe during the first, what's the word? Right there. Actually, it's only this one. So what I want to see is I want to see price break above this area here. Right there. Right. Okay. So if price decides to get above here, what I want to see is I want to see a close above this area here. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. I don't think the 1 hour is as clear. Nope. Okay. So that's why I'll be using the 15-minute today. There is no SMT at the highs. So yeah, nothing at the highs. I'm pretty sure there's something on the 5-minute though. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. I don't think there will be a 10 o'clock macro trade today. I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't see a 10 o'clock macro play today. There is SMT here. Yep, off the 9:30 open, which is right here. So this could have been a good entry. Only because sell side was taken. And it traded into 50% of the range. Beautiful setup there. This reminds me of, darn, when was it? It was weeks ago. Nope, not that one. It was actually after this right here. After that, before that, before that, right here. Uh, right here. In these areas here. Okay, yeah, I think this one right here maybe. Where price is placed lower, reversed, traded back into 50% of the range, and drew higher. Now, I would not like to see these highs get swept just yet. So maybe something like this one. Yep, that one. Yeah, something like that. Or something like this right here. Then we did get to draw higher. So for now, just watching. See what she's doing. She doesn't have anything going on. How are people bearish? Anyways, let's stick with Justin. I like the way he trades. Similar to mine, but he's way more talented. We have yet to draw into this area here. Okay. No, I don't need to do that. I was thinking, how come I didn't add the quadrants, but we're at all-time highs. The 15 minute, about 1 minute into the close. There's absolutely nothing. So let's just go with the 5 minute for now. In the 5 minute, we do have this gap here. Actually, let's bring it out a little more. This is a 1 hour. I don't think I need this anymore. Actually, I will. In case we displace lower through here, which I don't think we do, this may turn into an inverse. But has it been violated already? If it's been violated, then I'll just take it out. No, at least not until we get to here. What about this one? Nothing yet. Alright, so I'll still leave those alone. I will be watching to see how the 1 hour closes. Alright, he just mentioned projections. I completely forgot about that because we do have a breaker set up right here. And if I'm to stay bullish, then I don't expect price to displace below 2R, which is right here. Good idea. Okay, so yeah, I don't want it to get down here, but if it does, then I don't want it to displace below this area. If it displaces below this area, then here is where I'll look for a short. Same thing with this one. I don't think we get down here though. So that's why I remain bullish. So this type of setup, what I'm thinking, and I've seen this before, I saw the exact same one. We get a draw higher, we consolidate, we sweep one more time going into the 11, 12, or 1300 macros, and then we draw higher into 50%. at least. So that's my game plan. That's my trade idea. Until then, I just sit on my ass, which I don't think will happen until later on. There's no SMT at the lows, nothing. Okay, so now we have SMT at the lows on the 15-minute. I could still use it to maybe do something. Nope, keep on displacing lower. Now we have relative equal lows. Yeah, this looks exactly like that one time. Uh, well, we did leave a 5-minute gap up here. Now we're drawing. Now we have a 5-minute gap here. Let's take a look at something here. You got a lot of people trying to catch the bottom right now. No. This is the low of that gap. 25% of this gap is here. I'm not jumping in yet. I'm gonna wait until the 10 o'clock. We are within the 10 o'clock macro right now. Okay, well, we have prices so far holding. And I like how we closed here after we swept this low. It doesn't tell me anything, but it tells me that price is still strong. I do want to see, like I said, I do want to see some sort of unwillingness to draw into these lower areas. Let's look for that price action I was talking about. It's got to be somewhere here. Is it this one? Let's. Oh, I think this is it here. No, is it that one? Yep, this one. This day. All right, let's go back to. Yep, yep, it's this day. All right. This day right here. Yep, right here. So this is the type of price action I was talking about. Draw lower, we draw higher, but then the next day we we um we drew lower, then going into the 11 o'clock macro. Is it this one? It's not. Damn, I thought it was. Or maybe this one. Yeah, this one right here. This is it. Okay, so going into the 11 o'clock macro, we displaced lower. Here, we created SMT. Here, we did not. Drew back into 50% of the range. And then obviously the next day, we took buy side. So something similar to this is what I'm looking for. And so we are holding. We took that. Hmm. So we do have SMT between ES. ES and Q has SMT with YM. Let's take a look what the 5 minute is telling us. So we do have some sort of area here, SMT between the 5 minute. Ooh, let's take a look. Maybe even just to catch a few points. Okay. I would first want to see price get above this inverse here to target these relative equal highs. I would need to see like clear displacement for me to want to get interested. We closed above that body there. But no entry. Yep, as you can see here, we're having trouble getting above. We're drawing in, this is 3 drives. I'd want to see it close above here. Nope. Looks like we're rejecting. I think if anything, I'd want to get long down here. But I'm waiting to see. Actually, let's take a look. The 1 hour is about to close. So we are going to close. All right, so we're going to close above. So on the 4 hour and the hourly, we are going to close above this 4 hour here. But again, I want to see one more low in order for me to get kind of interested. All right, so we just closed there. Let's see where that 4 hour has takes us into. Yep, see how ES is reacting and Q isn't. We are seeing some sort of displacement there. But yeah, I don't like it. There's no entry here. There might be something on the 30-minute or whatever, but we traded into 50% of this range here, so we should see one more low. This imbalance should hold. There's a lot of people that got long here, probably getting stopped right now. So I want to see a quick flush. Come on. So now we have this 15-minute here. We have this order block, but I want to use this one because this one is above 50%. Is this one above 50%? Nope, so let's use the 5-1. Yep, this one. Yeah, I want to see one more low. If we don't take this low and we drop back into this area here, I will be looking for a short up here. Because I don't think this is the low. But I do want to see a new low first. Either or, that's my game plan for now. Okay. That'll be like a 50-point stop with 65. So about a 1R risk reward if I do end up taking it. Well, we took out buy side. I think this is going to be turtle soup. Right here. Maybe take out turtle soup here. 32. Okay, so I'm long. Took out buy side here. And I like my entry. My entry is all the way down here. So that gives me more leeway. So about a 20-point stop. So now I want to see this placement higher, and I'll cover up here. Buy side swell, sell side swept. If we fail to close above this, then I'll take my stop. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see price displace through this area. If we do, then I gotta take it out. It's just one micro though, so it's not no biggie. But I do like how this one retraced, closed above this low here. Buy side taken first, sell side taken next. Turtle soup entry. Same thing here. Buy side taken, sell side taken. The only way I'll add is if we get a clear entry. What was my entry actually? Right here, 87. Wow. It's actually 87 point something. 0.25. So we'll see how this reacts. I think this might turn out to be an all-day trade, especially if we consolidate here. I want to get long at every new node. So turtle soups, really, but I do want to take it off here. And then if I do end up getting into multiple contracts, uh, take some off here and then leave one. But still no reason. I don't want to see displacement. If I see displacement, then I'll take it out. I don't like how price is drawing here. I need to see every new candle now close above. I don't want to see price close below its previous candle. If that happens, then I'll just take it off and I'll add back down here. So regardless of how many wicks there are, I don't want to see price close below the previous candle. If I do, then that's I'm just going to take it off. Again, every candle needs to close above. The minute the other one doesn't, I'll just take it off. So each time, that's until we get above here though. After we get above here, we might consolidate a little, maybe rebalance. And if we get above here, then what I want to see is I want to see a new high get put in 50%, and I'll put my stop below this area here. But until we get up here, every new candle needs to close above the previous candle's body. What's the 5 minute look like? All right, the 5 minute looks okay for now. I want to see it only trade into this area here, 50% of this range. If it trades below it, then I'll just take it off. This move here, the one we saw in the 1 minute, that was a beautiful one. In the past, I probably would have jumped into it, assuming the price would draw higher, only to get stopped out. That is done for that reason, is to stop participants out of the market. I have about 1 more minute until we get that, and I'm not liking this. If we close below this right here, I'll take it off. There's still, yeah, there's still SMT because YM only swept, hasn't even swept London or Asia low. Wait, oh, never mind. Yeah, ES has not swept London low. That's what I meant. I mean, ES and NQ swept London low. YM hasn't. but I want to see how this closes. I think we might come down to sweep one more time here on the 15 minute, because this is the 15-minute low right now, and NQ might come back to sweep this low. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll add one more down here, and I'll take my stop at 20 points if it does that. .63. Yeah, I'll keep my stop at 30 points. 30 points. That's what I'll do. So for the afternoon session, what I want to see, regardless of how this trade works out, is I want to see something like this get drawn, wherever it lands, maybe here, but I want to see something like and then we get to draw lower. We either displace lower and then we draw higher like that. So whichever one does that, I think both of them will, but eventually the point I'm trying to make is I don't want to into the afternoon sessions. What I want to see is that, and then eventually I want to see one of these lows get swept, whether it's ES or NQ. But I think ES NQ is going to do that, so I'm going to add one more down here. Ooh, I just realized this one traded into consequent encroachment of this gap. Okay. Alright, so it makes sense that price is drawing higher now. Price bounced off of it. I completely didn't see this. Yeah, one of these has to trade into consequent encroachment, or I mean 50% of the range. She's short. Why? Okay, it makes sense. Good luck to her. Yeah, actually, it does make sense because he's trading off the 1 minute. Talking about this right here. Technically, let's see here. We swept sell side first here on this 1 minute, and then we swept buy side. But I'm actually looking at it through a longer term series where we swept buy side first and now sell side. Right, by the way, but the way she did it was she shorted buy side. I mean, saw sell side get swept first and then buy side. That's second stage. Oh wow, okay. I get it now. We do have a gap that we're holding above, so we'll see how that one reacts. On ES, right there. Did this retrace? Actually, not even. What about this one? Which one was it? This one. Okay, so it does make sense. I want to see it fail to get above this if we're going to go run to these lows here. Yep, it looks like we're going to run to this lows, or at least this low. There it is. 50% right here. Okay, so here's where I expect the reversal. little lower. A little more. Come on, a little more. Yeah, we're setting up for an 11 o'clock macro play. So now, oh wow, okay. So that limit order, I forgot I had a limit order there. It got triggered right there. I don't know how because it never hit this area. But that's fine. All right, so I don't want to see displacement beyond this area here. If it does, then that's fine on micros. One, two, three. That's three drives. Same thing here. Three drives. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it off. Yeah. All right. I just took it off. Because the thing is, even if I'm right, I'm just holding through this pain and I don't want to go through that. So I think we are setting up for the 11 o'clock macro. So that's what I'll do. I'll wait for the 11 o'clock macro and then look for a reversal pattern because I do believe this is where we stand. We do have a balanced price range here, but um, I don't expect this whole area to get taken today. If we do, then obviously I'm wrong, but I'm protecting my capital. Uh, yeah, this right here, and it does look like we're displacing. Okay, so I might be wrong, but anyways, I'll call it there for the day. Um, but I already know my game plan. As long as it happens, as long as it trades back into this area, then I'll be happy. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow.